It's been a fascinating year for me. You know, it was just a year ago, November 1st, when I had my first day at JCPenney. And when I came here, quite honestly, I was thinking this would be a chance to get under the radar a little bit. You know, I'd been working at Apple for 12 years, and you know, everything Apple did was front page news. And when I was looking at taking this job, I remember I'd go to Yahoo Finance, and there'd be, you know, 4 or 5 stories about 2 months old. And I said, this is perfect. I can go get under the radar, get back to kind of retail, and just have some fun. Well, it's been a little more than, I feel like I'm in the middle of a reality show. But that's okay.
This is the largest turnout ever for these retail seminars. And the reason is that people are coming here to hear about a revolution. Ron Johnson, CEO of JCPenney, is starting a revolution which consists of fundamentally disrupting the traditional retail paradigm.
What's fascinating to me, though, is we're here at JCPenney to do something that I use the word significant. And if you look in the dictionary, the word significant actually has a very short definition. It just says, has meaning. It matters. So often we do things in life that, you know, cause improvement. We run a business, we do a position, but it doesn't really change things. And throughout my life, I've just had this deep desire to do what's called significant, which I actually view pretty humbly. It's just to do things that matter. And that's what we did at Target when we believed that, you know, good design didn't have to be expensive. And that's what we did at Apple, and we said, let's try to, you know, enrich people's lives. And in the process of doing that, maybe build a great band and a great business. You know, so I just like to do significant things. And the thing that attracted me to JCPenney, and I said this, I believe, or something like this on the 25th, was it's one of the great American companies. It's 110 years old. And it was founded on a great idea called the Golden Rule. And all of us, I think, regardless of faith, believe in the Golden Rule. The best thing you do in life is treat someone like you to be treated yourself. And to go work for a company that had that as its core value was, I thought, a significant thing. And so I was very excited to do it.
I think that they can understand that the consumer's taste is ever so much more modern, and the consumer has very high standards for the kind of shopping environment that they want to see. And Ron understands that, and I believe that some of the initiatives that he's taking at JCPenney are already simplifying, making more important singular pieces, singular trends, making it really easy for the consumer to experience product and enjoy experiencing product. So they really have changed the tone of retail.
What we're doing is we're repositioning the company, and you've probably all read about it, so I won't talk a lot, what I call a specialty department store. And so we're going to build a new store that's a collection of 100 shops. We can fit about 100 unique shops within a JCPenney store of 130,000 square feet. Why that's interesting to me is the typical mall that we're in that runs about 1.2 million square feet has 100 stores. The anchors take about 600,000 square feet. The common area takes another 100, 150, and the average store is 4,000 square feet. So when you really divide it out, there are 100 stores in a mall. You'll be able to walk into one JCPenney store and have as many choices as you find in the entire mall, with some big differences. Because you won't have to check out every time you leave a store. You won't have to make a commitment to go in, because every store doesn't have a storefront with a door. Some open, some close. Different way to check out, different credit they take. It'll be easy to meander in and out of these stores. And it's really pretty cool. And so if you look at our store, for those of you who've been there, it's basically a beautiful specialty store without a storefront. Because our store design is connected to what I call a new interface for retail, which we call the street.
Nicole as a brand has joined this JCPenney initiative as Nicole by Nicole Miller. And what's exciting about today and Ron Johnson is he's spearheading a revolution that I haven't seen in my entire career. There's no price on design ability. So Nicole Miller, in tailoring what we do for JCPenney, it's Nicole. it's her design ability. So how do we get the prices down for JCPenney? Well, we don't use silk. We use silk substitutes. Like there's a lot of rayon, there's a lot of polyester, there are a lot of modern fabrics that have come down in price, but the aesthetics have to be sensational. You can't give up on aesthetics because then nobody buys it at any price.
Now, when you look at these shops, each one is pure to its brand. If you walk in these shops, they all have their unique floor, their unique architecture, the brand's point of sale signs, even down to the hanger that goes on the product. And it's not just stores or brands, it's people like Martha Stewart and Michael Graves and Jonathan Adler and Annette Lepore, who are choosing to put their identity within JCPenney because it gives them ultimately control over their brand experience, and that's really important. That's what all great brands want.
Well, we're a wholesale business, and obviously we sell to retailers, and retailers are very important in our industry. Those are our primary customers, and it's always interesting to hear what the expectations are and what the potential evolution may be taking place in retail. So I think it's important to stay current as to what's happening, and I think with Ron Johnson and what he's trying to do at JCPenney or JCP is very interesting, and so I think it's nice to understand what's taking place and how that could potentially impact us down the road.
I am a board member of FGI and a proud vendor of JCPenney as well. I think these events are important. You get to hear what's going on in the industry. You get to hear leaders speak. You get to network with all the leaders. It's a great time to really rethink, reinvent, reinvigorate your own business and see old friends and make new ones.
Now what we're creating though is this street that connects the brand really becomes what I refer to as the Apple Store, as a place people love to be. When you go to stores today, we have aisles. Now some retailers fill them with product, some keep them empty like Nordstrom does well. What we do is we take our aisles, which are about 9 feet wide, and we make them 15 feet wide. It's amazing what that does, and those of you who've been down in Texas have seen it. Suddenly it's a place, and we can fill it with street activities that help people stay around longer. Now, an average JCPenney store has a street that's a half-mile long. I don't think we ever think about that. You walk in a store, you see the moment you walk in, it's big. It's a half-mile long. If you walk a half a mile, that's 7.5 minutes at a normal pace. In a store, you take longer. Now, when we fill that with activities, people are going to hang around. So our street, we have high-speed internet. So where we used to have cash wraps, because we check out differently, you put couch. And I can sit down and just check my email. Where we used to have a cash wrap and a node, we put seating next to a coffee shop, and I got a place to get a cup of coffee. Or a yogurt shop. In the kids areas, we have things like Lego tables for kids to play while mom shops. We have iPads loaded with games. We have Macs loaded with games. Every street area of the store has its own life based on the product categories. So the activities in the street and home are different from the street and kids, different from the street and women's, center core, and that's what makes it interesting. It makes it alive. And that's kind of it. Really simple. 100 shops, a half-mile street, a square, and an entirely new technology platform, right? Because the reason we have to change is not to compete with retail today, it's to get in front of retail tomorrow.